Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus review complicity in Nazi America. Early in Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus, a new recruit asks your band of terrorists freedom fighters if they allow black people on their boat. In response, one of the game's heroes explains that everyone is allowed on this boat except for Nazis. I don't want to start with the familiar. In 2017, killing Nazis shouldn't be a shocking political statement. But I no longer believe that. Politics are about people collectively defining what the world should look like, and everyone is welcome, except for bigots, is a foundational tenet of my belief system. Wolfenstein II, which is an alternative history sci-fi shooter for consoles and PC, is out Friday from publisher Bethesda and developer Machine Games. It is launching into a different world than 2014's Wolfenstein: The New Order. White supremacist groups are on the rise in the United States and Europe, and the new Colossus is a violent and entertaining rebuke of that trend. But even if Nazis weren't a daily concern, that wouldn't lessen the effect of the new Colossus's criticism, because the real target of Wolfenstein II is complacent, apathetic white Americans. And we are timeless. Above, grenade launchers are quite useful in Wolfenstein II: The New Colossus. It takes our stance in Wolfenstein II. Hero and Nazi-killing super soldier B.J. Blazkowicz returns to his home country of the United States to liberate it from the oppression of the National Socialists. The idea of the Nazis winning the war and overtaking America is not new, and I assumed that Machine Games wouldn't explore some of the messier sides of this concept. I expected Wolfenstein II to portray an America that wanted to fight back instead of a population that is complicit in the slaughter of Jews, blacks, and homosexuals. But Wolfenstein II takes white American placation of white supremacy head-on. As BJ, you'll spend most of your time shooting Nazi soldiers until they are dead, but everything else around that core mechanic paints a picture of a white America that abandoned its people, its principles, and its religions. That same America simultaneously embraced the Nazis' promise to secure the future of the white race. Some people are more enthusiastic about the new government than others, but everyone is, at the very least, standing with the Nazis. Throughout the game, you'll stumble across letters, notes, and conversations of free American people continuing to lead relatively normal lives. In one town, a pair of high school-age boys talk about taking their dates to a wholesome, government-sanctioned film before casually mentioning the German lessons they have planned for the weekend. In that same town, a mother watches a parade and proudly boasts in her American accent about her son joining the Nazi military. Even the KKK give up their pseudo-libertarian ideology and Protestant Christianity in favor of Nazi socialism and German Catholicism. Machine Games is making the argument that white Americans are willing to give up their beliefs and accept Nazi rule because they don't value those things nearly as much as they cherished their position in a white supremacist society, whether that was before or after the Nazis arrived. That's a criticism that I've thought myself about America after the election of President Donald Trump. I was paying attention during the campaign, and I never noticed Trump make any substantial promises to fight for conservative or Christian principles. Instead, he played to the fears and resentment of a white population that was ready to blame multiculturalism for their troubles. As president, Trump has taken actions that are, in my opinion, discriminatory against Muslims, women, and transgender people. And yet, so many people still voted for him, continued to support him, and willingly stand next to him. My criticism of people like that is that they appear to value their unearned privilege over the health and safety of others. Above, the Germans enlist the help of the KKK, although the Nazis hate working with the robed imbeciles. Nothing gets that point across like B.J. Blazkowicz's father Rip Blazkowicz, who looks like Thomas Friedman. Through a series of flashbacks, we learn that Rip is a failure. He can't turn his father-in-law's business into a success, and he isn't willing to blame himself for how the studio performed. That leads to him taking out his frustrations on both BJ and BJ's mother. You meet up with Rip later, however, and he is thrilled with the arrival of the Nazis. Now that he doesn't have to compete with the minorities, his business is booming. And killing a few blacks and Jews was just the price the Nazis had to pay to make Rip's America great again. It's an old